This is a tour of the swag given out at Comic-Con 2011. We start here with the events guide given out to everybody who was in attendance at Comic-Con, along with the Comic-Con souvenir book. Those came in with registration for everybody who showed up for Comic-Con. Nothing too rare there, but definitely began the free stuff to be handed out throughout the whole convention. Now, as you walk around Comic-Con, you can certainly expect to see plenty of people handing out all kinds of goodies throughout the convention floor and around the San Diego Convention Center. And this is just a quick overview of all the stuff that we picked up over the course of 4.5 days while we were in San Diego for the San Diego Comic-Con. Looking a little bit more closely here, there's certainly flyers. There's actually a table of freebie flyers to be found in one of the areas. This particular flyer is for Pee Wee Herman on Broadway, which is coming to DVD and I think Blu-ray pretty soon. Probably says on the back of this. Actually, yes, there at the bottom. Coming to DVD, Blu-ray, and digital download. And then there's plenty more things like that, just kind of little flyers you can pick up here and there. And then as you're walking around the exposition floor, the convention floor, that's when you can pick up the cooler stuff, the exclusive stuff that's to be found throughout there, such as this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ashcan mini comic, basically, for the Wonderful Turtles. And here's a Monster High Ghoul Spirit magnet set available from THQ, who have been working on the video game, which is what Ghoul Spirit is. And that game is coming out for Wii, and they had a demo of that game there where everybody could play it. Moving on over at the Mattel area also, another side of it, Teela from He-Man was there in person in front of a giant He-Man, and she was handing out these buttons nearby. Coupons are certainly easy to find around the convention floor. Also nearby in Mattel were these great Stay Puft Marshmallow Man air fresheners. Grabbed a few of those. Over in the Summit Entertainment area, Twilight certainly was the topic at hand, and they've got these magnets here, along with some trading cards they were handing out. Here's a light bulb promoting something, some other movie that's not Twilight. Captain America fans that are in the shape of his shield, along with another flyer, were being handed out on the streets of San Diego. You had Frank the Bunny from Donnie Darko was out there in costume, walking around and handing out these buttons promoting the Blu-ray release of Donnie Darko. Then we've got more flyers and more flyers and more and more and more. Over here is an NCIS skin for an iPod Touch or an iPhone or something like that. This was the order form if you got in line to buy stuff at Hasbro. And let's see, there was a Voltron scavenger hunt that ended up being a bit frustrating because they took away the lions that you were supposed to find before we had a chance to finish the scavenger hunt, unfortunately. And actually, if we come all the way back over here, skipping a few things, I'll go in on these buttons here. The Voltron lion buttons are what you would get for finding all the different lions around the convention center and around in the streets, and we only got 2 of those buttons. Moving back over here now, out in, I think it was on 5th in San Diego, they had the Conan O'Brien Gallery, Flaming Sea Art Gallery, where fans had submitted all kinds of Flaming Sea artwork to be displayed in this gallery, so you could go take a tour of that. And actually, that was a source of some really great free stuff for anybody who is a Conan O'Brien fan. This is a picture of me with the Flaming Sea, and I'm sporting the oven mitts and the cape, which you can't see too well there. However, you can see it very, very well right here, because walking away from the Coco Mocha Museum of Conan Flaming Sea artwork, you got to choose either to walk away with this Flaming Sea cape or over here the Flaming Sea oven mitt. And the reason I have one of each is because it was me and my wife, so we each chose one to walk away from there with, which was a really nice set of freebies. Also out in the streets of San Diego, the Discovery Channel people were handing out these lenticular Mythbusters cards, which are good for 20% off the Discovery store online. We didn't actually make it into the Mythbusters panel, unfortunately, but at least we have these cool cards. Let's see, over at Fox, they were handing out water bottles here, which, yeah, it's a water bottle. It's promoting Terra Nova, show coming out, I think, from Steven Spielberg. And then at the Voltron panel, we got these excellent lenticular buttons featuring Voltron, which is making his resurgence These were, of course, Comic-Con exclusive buttons, just like many, many other things. Here's one more button that we got from the Conan Gallery. This one was for checking in on GetGlue or Foursquare or one of those check-in places. Now, when you go to certain panels, they would give away freebies as well. And we went to the True Blood panel, and there we received a bag full of stuff. This is actually the bag right here. Inside the bag was a 20% off coupon for HBO Store Online, the HBO Shop, HBO.com, a book. True Blood obviously is inspired by the Charlaine Harris books, and here is one of them. We also got a notebook and a shirt, which is large and a bit small on me. Even though it says it's large, it looks a little smaller than that. Elsewhere in the San Diego streets, they were handing out hand sanitizer for GameSpot. Certainly welcome there. Over in the Star Wars area, the convention floor, you got some temporary tattoos, some unpunched action figure cards, which is always something nice to have. There's some more Twilight buttons back from Summit. And these other buttons came from, I think, Factory Entertainment. They were handing out different buttons every day. So here's 3 of the different ones that we picked up. This little tiny pin is from Capcom, from Resident Evil. Then Creo is the sort of Lego building blocks that Hasbro has come out with for Transformers. And they were handing out some little Optimus Prime Creo guys out in the streets. And I think there was a different Creo set that they were handing out on the convention floor, but never quite got around to picking that one up. And one of the biggest, most sought-after items was the Pan Am bag from Disney ABC's show Pan Am. You had to go through the booth experience in order to get one of these bags. Actually, one of these bags on the left. There are a couple different styles that they were handing out. So we picked up this one on the left from going through the experience. Then this one on the right, they were actually handing out in the streets of San Diego. So we picked up 2 different styles. There was a third style that was a nice leather bag, and unfortunately we did not get that one. Speaking of bags, though, everybody who went through and registered and got inside got one of these really large Warner Brothers sponsored bags here. There were different styles, different designs. There was Justice League and Big Bang Theory and quite a few others. We picked up the Thundercats one and the Harry Potter Lego one with Voldemort there. And then back over to Mattel was this Monster High bag as well. So that is an overview of all the swag that we picked up walking around, but that is definitely not it, because one of the biggest things, literally, that you can pick up while walking around would be a poster. It's highly recommended that you bring a poster tube with you to the San Diego Comic-Con, because you will pick up plenty of posters. But if you forget your poster tube, Fox was there to the rescue. Fox was handing out these poster tubes in abundance. And then let's take a step back here, just do a quick overview of all the posters that we picked up, and then I'll get a little closer on some of them. Quite a few posters, big ones, small ones, and everything in between. This is one of the more exclusive ones that a lot of people were really excited about over in the, the Lionsgate film area. They were handing out this poster for The Hunger Games, which is the very first poster for the film that's coming out next year based on the very popular book and ultimately book series and probably film series as well. In addition, Lionsgate was handing out a bunch of posters that were all rolled up together, including this one for Warrior and this one for The Devil's Double. I've never even heard of these movies before, but they were handing out posters, and I guess that's the point, was to raise awareness of these movies. You got one for the new Conan the Barbarian film, as well as this one that Twilight fans will be excited about because it has Taylor Lautner in it, and that film is called Abduction. Then if we jump back over here to the top, we visited the Nintendo Gaming Lounge, and over there they were handing out these posters for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, which was a nice touch. Now let's move back over here to the smaller posters, and we've got a Comic-Con exclusive My Little Pony poster from the Hasbro area. Also more Star Wars was the Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi poster. The saga continues. There's some more stuff on the back side of that one, actually. Disney was handing out quite a few posters, both on the convention floor and at their panels. These smaller posters were handed out at the Kick Buttowski panel that I went to. That's this one on the right, and on the left is for an upcoming show, Motor City. And then down here, I'm really excited about this one, Tron Uprising. So great look at Tron Uprising there. And then on the convention floor, they were handing out posters for Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Across the Second Dimension. Over here, back to the Capcom area, Dead Rising 2, Off the Record, a really heavy poster, really thick stock on this poster. It's a nice one. Back over to the Conan exhibit, they were handing out these posters as people left. And more Twilight, Twilight Breaking Dawn poster. Telltale Games had a pretty extensive set of giveaways as well. They had this Back to the Future poster that they were handing out for their Back to the Future game, and some of the stars of Back to the Future, the movies, as well as the game, were there to sign the posters. So I had a couple autographs there. One of them is for the voice of Marty McFly. Does a great Michael J. Fox impersonation for the game. The other is Claudia Wells, who was Jennifer Parker in the first Back to the Future. Then here's another little Back to the Future Comic-Con exclusive photo. And then I'm not even sure exactly what this one is going to be. It says, There is a Wolf Among Us 2012. So teasing to some sort of game coming out next year. And then Telltale's also working on a Walking Dead game, which is very exciting. And they were handing out posters for that. And finally, out in the streets, a bunch of ninjas came up to us and handed out this little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles poster and told us to go over to the Nickelodeon booth to find some turtle fun. Never got around to doing all of that, but there you go. So those are all the posters we picked up. I'm sure we could have picked up much, much more. There was free stuff to be found just about everywhere you looked, and this was pretty much all we could handle while walking around. So anybody going to Comic-Con in the future, be ready to pick up lots and lots of free stuff, and definitely bring a poster tube, and you'll be happy walking away with a bunch of great goodies. So there you go. A look at the free swag for the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con.